am doing a special edition today. It is Canada's 150th birthday. Yay! A round of applause for us. And for those of you who don't live here, and maybe for some of you who do live here, I'm going to give you some fun facts today. So let's get started. Are the garter snake capital of the world. If you travel to Winnipeg and you go north about 130 kilometers, there's a place called, now I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, Narcissus Snake Den. Every year between April and May, that's when all the baby snakes are born, and there are thousands of them. So if going to see baby snakes come out of their dens is your thing, you need to head to Winnipeg. In St. Paul, Alberta, there is a UFO landing pad. It was built in 1967. Why? I don't know. But so far, nothing has landed there except the odd Canadian goose. I guess when it happens, they're going to be ready for it. In 1987, somebody decided to get rid of our Canadian dollar bill for cost-efficient reasons, and they decided to come out with something called the loonie. And here it is. Actually, no, this is not a loonie. So they got rid of this, and they brought out the loonie. Now, I could have stuffed 10 of those dollar bills in my bra, but if I put 10 of these in my bra, I'd have to go 5 and 5 just to even out the weight. These are heavy suckers. On February 19th, 1996, we got rid of our $2 bill. This is a lovely $2 bill. I love the color of it. They got rid of it, probably for the same reasons, cost efficiency. They got rid of that, and what did they give us? They gave us something called the toonie. Again, it's just as heavy as the loonie. You don't want to fill your pockets up with too many of these. I throw them in a jar. At the end of the year, I roll them up. The most common last name in Canada is Lai. L-I. So let's talk about the Canadian goose. First of all, we are not allowed to shoot that goose. It is a national bird. Secondly, they have 13 different types of very distinct calls. The actual #1 selling pizza ever ordered in Canada is the Hawaiian pizza. Now, this pizza was invented by a guy in Ontario, not a guy in Hawaii. The largest Sony screen can actually be found in Rogers Place in Toronto. In 1962, in Pincer Creek, Alberta, it went from -19 degrees Celsius, which is pretty darn cold, to +22 degrees Celsius within the hour. As Canadians, we eat more mac and cheese than anybody else in the world. The official phone number of Canada is 1-800-O-Canada. Poutine. If you don't know what poutine is, it's French fries with cheese curds on top and then gravy, and it becomes all gooey. #1 selling side dish across Canada. So the people in Nanaimo, BC, once a year get together and race their bathtubs. I'm not sure why, but it's kind of like a tradition for them. So if you ever want to see bathtub racing, you need to go to Nanaimo. You know that the word A is actually a valid English word. It made it into the Oxford Dictionary. Now, this word is never used at the beginning of a sentence. It's always used at the end, and it's more or less a question. Must be cold outside, eh? You going for a brew tonight, eh? And that's how you use this word. Let's talk about maple syrup. One of my favorite things in the whole world, not that Aunt Jemima stuff. Oh no, I'm talking about the real maple syrup. As you can see, I only have this much left. 70% of maple syrup comes from Canada. Yes, it does. We produce close to $400 to $500 million a year in maple syrup. A lovable character by the name of Wolverine. Did you know that his creator was from Alberta? Also, Superman's creator is also Canadian, along with the creator of that lovable little bear, Winnie the Pooh. In 1884, there was an inventor named Marcellus Edison, and he liked to dabble in this and that, but he invented something called peanut paste. Today, and I love this stuff, today we call it peanut butter. Prostitution is legal here, but being a pimp and owning a brothel is against the law. That doesn't make sense to me, but I guess if you want to be a prostitute and that's your own business, does that make you an entrepreneur? Apparently, sometime in the 19th century, somebody was out on a lake in the Okanagan, which is in British Columbia, and they saw this serpent-like thing come out of the water, and they call it the Ogopogo. Kind of like the Loch Ness Monster. Maybe they're twins, maybe they're related, and one said, hey man, this is my lake, you go to Canada, you get your own lake. In 1865, Canada actually became a country, and they called it Canada. 100 years later, on February 15th, 1965, we got a new flag with a maple leaf on it, and it became official. And it still is to this day. We've never changed it. And honestly, as a Canadian, I don't want to change it. Even though we are the second largest country in the world, we actually have the fourth lowest population rate. 20% of the people that live here now were not born here. So that's saying something. People live here and they don't want to leave. It's a great country. I'm never leaving here. But I embrace people who come to visit Canada. Come and see our forests, come and see our mountains, come and see everything that we have to offer, West Edmonton Mall, and enjoy it. It is a great country. I have just officially invited you to come to Canada.